You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, y'all. Country music star Morgan Wallen has been suspended indefinitely from his label after his neighbor recorded him shouting the N-word as he was coming home from a night out in Nashville. Wallen has apologized and taken responsibility. However, the fallout has been significant. Radio stations have removed the music from their playlists, and the country music industry has denounced him. Wallen's record company, Big Loud Records, put out a statement on Instagram saying, quote, "It has made the decision to suspend Morgan Wallen's record recording contract indefinitely. Republic Records fully supports Big Loud's decision and agrees such behavior would not be tolerated." Now, this is the video that was shot. Check this out.
Oh, fuck. Hey, Gracie, take care of this pussy ass nigga. Take care of this pussy ass motherfucker. Oh, fuck. Hey, Gracie, take care of this pussy ass nigga.
Well, Misha, he's just so sorry. I can't believe those things. There was no reason in the world for me to say those things.
It's frustrating, and I am probably the only person on this panel who has been a longtime country music fan. You name it: Patsy Cline, George Strait, Alan Jackson.
Oh, how the hell? Hold up! How you gonna just act like everybody else? Everybody else here.
I was gonna agree with her.
I said probably. If I was to play some records, I would say most of y'all probably wouldn't know. I said probably, but I will say this:
So how many songs on your country playlist?
It's almost my whole playlist. It's my favorite genre of music. But what I was going to say was,
but you ain't the only one. Go ahead.
Well, then praise the Lord. The issue here that is problematic is that this isn't Wallen's first time doing it. So as much credit as some people are giving country music right now, it does not deserve it. Wallen has been known to use the N-word. He is known to be offensive. And in country music, when we have black artists like Darius Rucker, like Mickey Guyton, like Charlie Pride, Lord rest his soul, and country music itself has long denigrated black people, pushed away black talent, hasn't necessarily listened to the cries of black people when they talked about people like this guy using the N-word, when they talked about it being it's an open secret. This is the first time he got caught up, and it's the first time he got caught up because after the line that was walked by country music and country music awards and things post the George Floyd protest last year, they made it a loud and proud claim that they were going to do so much to invest in and to make sure that a lot of the racism that was inherent in their industry that they were going to try to root out. So I'm not going to give them a huge amount of credit here because this guy has said this multiple times before. I am glad that there has been a huge pushback against him, particularly because he was one of the #1 artists of 2020 for country music. So he stood to make billions this year, billions with a B, because he was one of the most streamed and he was the one who had some of the most album sales. So I think it's a huge thing that not only is he not on country music platforms, he's not on radio, they've also pulled him from all streaming platforms. That is huge for country music. And it says a lot to, other artists who are known to say similar things, who right now are counting their chickens and knowing how to keep their mouth shut.
In fact, this is what said here in this story here. iHeartMedia, Cumulus, and Intercom have pulled his music. His tunes have been yanked from Spotify's Hot Country Songs and Apple Music's Today's Country playlist. He's been barred from this year's Academy of Country Music Awards. But this is the headline, though, on this particular story. Morgan Wallen's sales skyrocket after racial slur. Michael, sales are up 339%.
Well, Roland, these are some of the same people that would bring Confederate battle flags to NASCAR races until NASCAR said stop bringing your Confederate battle flags to NASCAR races. These are some of the same people who voted for Donald Trump. These are some of the same people who were at the insurrection January 6th, the Stop the Steal rally. These are some of the same people who in Georgia voted for the crazy QAnon lady, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So you've talked about before how country is nothing more than the white folks blues. Right. And this is, you're dealing with, so you have a lot of white supremacists who are upset with what happened in Georgia with the Senate races in Georgia, who are upset that Kamala Harris is vice president, upset that Joe Biden won, okay, by 7 million plus votes. And they're some of the same people who will use some of the same language that Whalen has used. So they're financially rewarding him, just like you have white supremacists who are financially rewarded, just like Kyle Rittenhouse. Ricky Schroeder helped raise part of the $2 million along with the My Pillow guy, who's up here spouting more conspiracy theories on Newsmax, and Newsmax is trying to shut them down because they already got like a cease and desist order from Dominion Voting Systems. So it's more. Black History Month occurs during white privilege year, so we just had to keep that in mind.
This is the paragraph here, Rob. On February 2nd, TMZ shared footage of an intoxicated Wallen shouting in his driveway and using the N-word. That day, the story was widely disseminated. He sold 5,000 total units, about 1,000 of which were copies of his recent release, Dangerous, the double album. Those numbers may have kept Dangerous on pace to be the #1 album in the country for a 4th week in a row, but on February 3rd, as the backlash grew, he sold a staggering 7,000 albums and 22,500 total units. As the article says, it's disgusting, if not exactly surprising. Racism has been lucrative for centuries.
Yeah, it has been. And you know, there's this, you're seeing this narrative play out, particularly on right-wing media, that like our voices are being denied, they're censoring us. Mm-hmm. No, we're not standing for racism. And if you call that censoring, you can call it what you want to, but we're not going to allow you to get away with it. But they feel as if they're being victimized for saying these things. And I've said this many times. You know, racist people get more offended when you call them racist than against racism. Like, I want you to be mad about racism. You get mad when people talk about you being a racist. Get mad about racism. Imagine having to go through racism. You being called a racist is not that bad. And I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings. No, I'm not really. Like, we need to learn to really grow up and stop being snowflakes. They talk about, the left as if they're snowflakes. These folks really do seem to be snowflakes. They seem to have a really fragile spirit about things. Like, listen, no, you're not allowed to say the N-word. No, and you should be held accountable. No, you're not allowed to make up things and facts in the world. No, you're not allowed to just say these conspiracies. We're going to hold you accountable. We should. I mean, I make no apologies for that.
Speaking,
you should be canceled.
Every single night. We've got some of the top black experts. You're not going to see them on cable news or broadcast news because you swear black people aren't experts when it comes to this health crisis. That's why we have this show and why we do what we do every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Joining us right now is retired General Russell Honore, the nation's first black Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Elders. John Hope Bryant, he's the founder of Operation Hope. Senator Kamala Harris of California, Dr. Cedrina Calder, retired General Lloyd Austin, Congresswoman Karen Bass, Commissioner Omari Hardick, Bureau President in Brooklyn, Eric Adams, Dr. Joseph Graves, America's Wealth Coach, Deborah Owens, Dr. Corey Abear, Patal Saul, Howard University student, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Dr. Christy McDowell, Benja Ajilore, senior economist at the Center for American Progress, Gilda Daniels, again, author of the book, The Crisis of Voter Suppression in America. 4 stars, General Kip Ward. Dr. Oliver Brooks is president of the National Medical Association, president of the American Medical Association, Dr. Patrice Harris. Joby Benjamin, Dr. Alexia Gaffney, infectious disease specialist, Dr. Georges Benjamin, executive director of the American Public Health Association, Malcolm Nance, family medicine physician, Dr. Jen Caudle, Dr. Tashaka Cunningham, a molecular biologist, Kat Stafford. She's a national race and ethnicity reporter for the Associated Press. Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, who is the president of Howard University, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from the state of New York, William Spriggs, AFL-CIO economist, Andrea James, executive director of the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls. All right, let's go to Capitol Hill. Congressman Gregory Meeks, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson of Texas, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, mental health clinician Jamie Singletary, Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy, as well as Dylan Hayrie, ACLU Justice Division strategist. Dr. Cindy Duke, she is a virologist Colleges. Principal Steve Perry of Capital Prep. Health and Wellness Specialist Dr. Yolanda Hancock. Desmond Meade, President of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Cliff Albright, who is the co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Michael Harriot with The Root. Mina McWhorter, founder of Love by the Hand. Dr. Julian Malvo, economist, president, Emerita Bennett College. Coroner Michael Fowler is the mayor of Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms, mental health therapist Suzette Clark. Justin Gibney, attorney and political strategist, and Bishop Vincent Matthews Jr. Dr. Suzette McKinney, CEO and executive director of the Illinois Medical District. Dr. Leon Madugal, president-elect of the National Medical Association. Jana Bailey, mayor of Moss Point, Mississippi. Mario King. We're going to keep driving this thing to make sure our people are fully aware, safe, protected from coronavirus. You getting the top medical experts, the top business experts, top political experts, top religious experts, because that's why we do what we do. Unapologetically and unfiltered. Ain't nobody else in the black media space doing what we do. Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.